socks on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says,
Hey dude, you too must be from Marin.
Marin County's A-OK, from Tam to Stinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic veggies in the market every day. The Dennis, Dylan, and NWA.
This is the Run TMC podcast. That is the Run the Marin County podcast, a podcast about basketball based in Marin County, California. It is December 31st, the last day of 2025, and this is a late-breaking emergency podcast release because, Dave, it was a very exciting tournament at Marin Catholic over the last 5 days. It culminated last night in a riveting final. And I'm going to turn it all over to correspondent Dave to give us a lot of details. But first, I want to take a little bit of issue with the whole concept of an emergency podcast. How could a podcast ever rise to the level of having emergency status? And I say this, Dave, as an emergency worker, but also as a fan of podcasts. But rarely am I in such a dire state of podcast need that the podcast has to be released this very moment. But nonetheless, we're still going to call this an emergency pod. Season 3, emergency. And Dave, what do you got?
Thank you, Duffy. Great to hear from you. And hello, Run TMC. And yes, an emergency pod. This is emergent, I would say. The Don Bambauer Memorial Holiday Classic is always must-see basketball. And this year was no exception. The 2025 campaign for the Don Bambauer Classic was awesome. I was in the gym a lot. I caught a lot of these games. 16 really good teams. Great field this year. All local teams. They didn't have any teams, I don't believe, from Southern California or out of state, but really high quality teams, a lot of repeats from last year. When the bracket came out, the game that I really wanted to see as a final actually did happen, University and Marin Catholic, and it did not disappoint. I'd say one of the best high school games, one of the best just games I've seen in a long time, if not ever. Marin Catholic beat University, and yes, folks, this is a 32-minute high school game. They beat them 96-95 in overtime, so they had 4 extra minutes. But it was just back and forth from the beginning, as we knew it would be. For those of you who haven't seen Marin Catholic play, go check them out. It's a exciting, fun brand of basketball. I'm not just saying that because my co-host and good friend Duffy Bauer is an assistant coach there, but MC is certainly, if not the favorites, one of the favorites to win the MCAL this year and go very deep into the playoffs. They are loaded with talent. New coach Kevin Vasquez, former guest on the podcast, a good friend of the pod, good friend of mine and Duffy's, is doing an incredible job with his assistants, Duffy and Chris. And they just got a great team. Very deep, a lot of talent, but also a lot of energy. They push pace, they press the entire game. Joe Hammond, incredible point guard. I had someone say to me in the stands, Joe Hammond is the perfect point guard, and I don't disagree. Gets the ball down the court, finds open players. Ollie Myers, great kid, awesome player, a junior, had 5 threes in the first half against University, ended up with 20 points. Jack Herman had 23, I think. It was just an amazing game, back and forth. On the University side, I've mentioned University a couple times. Lucas Lau is one of the best high school players I've seen in a long time. I've watched him play now. This is the 4th year I've seen him play. And he's just scintillating. Marin Catholic's really good. They couldn't stop him. Lucas, I think, had 38. He had 32 at a mid-third quarter. And it was just a back-and-forth battle, and it came down to Marin Catholic made a couple plays down the stretch. Some huge plays to get the game into overtime. And then in overtime, they were down 1 late. And Henry Dibble, a senior, great player, got fouled with, I think, little under 2 seconds left, down 1, and he made both free throws. And University had kind of a heave at the buzzer that did not fall, and they lost by 1. just a great game. Packed gym, super fun atmosphere, a great way to kind of get, as we wrap up the tournament section of the season for everybody. There are maybe a few more lingering tournaments coming up this weekend around New Year's Eve, right after New Year's Day, and then league starts kind of early January. So it was a great tournament. The night prior, Sarah, Unipro Sarah, the alma mater of Tom Brady, Barry Bonds, always a great athletic school in the West Coast, the WCAL, had an incredible game against University that also, I believe, went into overtime. University won that one 89-85. Sarah was up 3 late, and Lucas Lau hit about a 40-footer off the backboard to send it into overtime, and University won it in overtime. Very high scoring. So University is just a really fun team to play. Sarah put on a great show, had an incredible tournament. Some more local teams that represented in the Bambauer. Archie Williams, good friend Mikey Claggett, coached Archie. Archie got a win against Carlmont in the first round and then dropped their second round game to Sarah in a really good game, 64-58. Archie then beat Acalanes and lost to Heritage by 2 in the 5th place game. But a good outing for Archie Williams. They're going to be really one of the better teams in the MCAL. They're very fun to watch. Measy Butler, Grady Stewart. We had Grady on our player roundtable. Brian Wright, Efren Sohn. They've got a bunch of great players, and Mikey's doing a really nice job with them. So keep your eyes open for Archie. Our good friend San Domenico, Tyler Gaffney. We actually sat down with Tyler during the tournament, and we're going to air that segment soon, next couple of weeks. San Domenico had a tough opening round game. They had a couple injuries, a couple missing players. They lost to Acalanes, but then they beat International, they beat Montgomery, and then they beat Urban, their Bay Counties League foe, in the consolation final. So San Domenico won the consolation championship, and they're going to be a very solid team. Now in the Bay Counties League, the issue is you got to face University twice, and nobody wants to do that. But the BCL is really good. Joe Skifford does a great job with Urban. Elliott Smith and Lick Wilmerding is always good. Stuart Hall is good, and Tyler's one of the best around, I think, in the state. And so San Domenico is competitive in every game, and they're gonna do great. Our friend Chris Lavdiotis, Coach Lav from San Marin. San Marin competed in this tournament and had some good games. They lost to a really good Central Catholic team in the first round, but then they rebounded and beat a very solid Casa Grande team, 70-43, and then lost in a really close game to Urban by 2. Basically came down to the buzzer. So very good showing for San Marin. San Marin's going to be very competitive in the MCAL as well. There are no easy nights in the MCAL. Terra Linda has been playing great. San Rafael's great with Luke Shapiro and Jax Aguilon. I mean, there's just a bunch of really good teams out there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you to Kevin Vasquez and Marin Catholic for hosting the Bambauer. It's a treat every year. I know I saw a lot of people in the stands who didn't have any connection to the teams that were playing, just local people who love watching basketball and who come out and kind of once a year, maybe they'll come out and check out the Bambauer, and it never disappoints, as I said. So that was really fun. And then, a bunch of other tournaments going on, like my Branson girls team, KK and I were over at Dublin High School coaching our team in the West Coast Jamboree. I know Tony Butler had his San Marin girls out there. Zach Borello and the Redwood girls competed in a tournament down in San Diego. Jada Maestri, Tom Poser, and the Redwood boys were down at the Damien, as were the Branson boys with Coach Demetrius Roquemore. Damien is always one of the best tournaments, bringing talent, like high-level D1 talent, with some of the best West Coast players in the country are at the Damien. It's a showcase tournament. So that was great. And I know I'm missing, there are a bunch of other tournaments that have been going on. So a very fun time of year, Duff, for us to have an emergency podcast. So everybody get ready for the next couple of weeks are going to be really fun as the league starts. Please come out and support local basketball. Watch the girls' games. Watch the boys' games. We're always available if you want to send us a message and ask us about, what are the good games that are coming up. We're nerds. We love this stuff. The IJ is another great resource. The Marin IJ has done a fantastic job of following local basketball and they post a lot of updates on their website. So they're on top of it. And then you can always also check, obviously, Max Preps is sort of the source of truth for all things high school basketball. All right, correspondent Dave signing off. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for all the support this year for our podcast. Can't believe we're coming up on we're in mid-season 3 of our podcast. We started this thing. Actually, Duffy and I were just talking about this. September of 2023 was our first episode with Mike Fulton. And here we are, I think at least over 75, maybe up to almost 80 episodes, including all the re-releases and everything. We've got some great guests coming up. We've had some people reach out to us in the last couple of weeks about new sponsorship opportunities, which is great to help us keep the lights on and keep this going. So it's been so much fun. Keep supporting us. We'll open up the team store soon. And then most importantly, have a great and safe Happy New Year with your families. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dave, and great job. As always, you pulled this together on very short notice. And I feel quite confident in saying that if you did want to make a career pivot, a career change here any time in the near future, that emergency response could be a field you could consider. The update was very timely on the Bambauer as well as the other tournaments. And now as we move forward into 2026, we're going to be looking at the regular season in our leagues, and we're going to be paying a lot of attention to those Max Preps rankings as we start to see how teams might sort out for NCS and beyond. But more on that later. We're going to thank our sponsors and then go out and celebrate rolling into 2026. But a quick moment of appreciation before we do for the Marin Catholic boys varsity parents who pretty much to a large degree, fund and support the Bambauer tournament. They contribute to the effort. A lot of their dollars go towards bringing in food 3 meals a day for the coaches and the officials that are there for the tournament. And they also arrange the food that's up in the Nelson room, and they're at the front desk selling tickets, and they're just around everywhere. So it's a cool team family vibe to the whole thing, and much appreciation for the work they put in and for the administration for supporting the tournament as well. It's a great institution here in Marin County. Some really good basketball, 8 games a day, most of them high quality for 4 days in a row or 4 out of 5 days. So thank you to the Bambauer. Thank you to the MC parents. And thank you, Dave, for the great recap. And Happy New Year to our listeners. We appreciate you.
We are sponsored by Encore Custom. From the field to the gym and everywhere in between, Encore Custom designs high-performance team apparel built for athletes, coaches, and active communities. Each piece is crafted with technical precision, modern fits, and customizable details that bring your team identity to life. Shop their ready-to-wear performance gear online or in-store, or create custom designs made exclusively for your team. Visit www.encorecustom.com or stop by their headquarters at 891 4th Street in San Rafael, California, to see where performance meets design. Thank you, Neil, and the Encore Custom team for your support. We love you.
Well done, Dave. And just an addendum to this, we have an online pop-up store with Encore Custom in development coming soon with a new fabric and a new design for our Run TM tees that have been a favorite in the community for almost 3 years now, Dave.
Love it. Can't wait for the store to get live. Good work, Duff.
The Run TMC podcast is brought to you by The Hub in San Anselmo, our favorite place to meet and eat and greet. The Run TMC podcast has hosted multiple roundtables at The Hub, and we thank Jerry and Rebecca for their ongoing support. We want to mention that right now they still have a special going on with the Lawrence Elk Burger. Very clever, right, Dave?
Very.
The Lawrence Elk Burger, super lean protein topped with caramelized onions, sauteed mushrooms, point raised blue cheese, crumbles, butter lettuce, and house-made sriracha chili mayo. So you can get that elk burger as it is described, or you can get some elk patty and put it on one of the delicious salads that the Hub serves on a daily basis.
Burke's on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says,
Hey, dude, you too must be from Marin.
Marin County's A-OK, from Tamistinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic veggies in the market every day. The Dennis, Dylan, and NWA.
Welcome to